Stay focused. Don't talk about what you're gonna do. Don't just dream about what you're gonna do. Don't criticize somebody else for what they're not doing. You be it. Be about it. Be about that action and go do it. Keep your eye on your intention. You are achieving things your parents and grandparents never could imagine for themselves. You are the answer to a generation of prayers. Now, some of you might be the first in your family to graduate from college. Maybe you did not follow the path that was expected of you, and you probably questioned everything about your decision. But know that stepping out is the best thing you can do for self-discovery. I know how hard it is to step out and bet on yourself. There was a pivotal turning point in my life when I chose to build my own company many years ago. I had to trust that I was ready and that my parents and mentors provided me with the tools I needed to be successful. But that was terrifying. You are everything the world needs. Make those power moves. Be excellent. And to the young kings, lean into your vulnerability and redefine masculinity. Lead with heart. There's so many different ways to be brilliant. I believe you and every human being is born with a masterful gift. Don't make the world make you feel that you have to look a certain way to be brilliant. And no, you don't have to speak a certain way to be brilliant. But you do have to spread your gift around the planet in a way that is authentically you. To all those who feel different, if you're a part of a group that's called Other, a group that does not get the chance to be center stage, build your own stage and make them see you. Your queerness is beautiful. Your Blackness is beautiful. Your compassion, your understanding, your fight for people who may be different from you is beautiful. I hope you continue to go into the world and show them that you will never stop being yourself, that it's your time now. Make them see. Now, if you've ever been called dumb, unattractive, overweight, unworthy, untalented, well, so have I. Whatever you do, don't let negativity of people projecting their own self-doubts on you deter you from your focus. I know those moments are painful, and you're human and it hurts like hell, but now is the time to turn those criticisms into fuel and motivation to become a beautiful beast. Respect is everything. There's no successful relationship without respect, nor a successful movement if the basic principle is not respect. The world will respect you as much as you respect yourself. I'm often asked, what's your secret to success? The shorter answer, put in that work. There may be more failures than victories. Yes, I've been blessed to have 24 Grammys, but I've lost 46 times. That meant rejection 46 times. Please don't ever feel entitled to win. Just keep working harder. Surrender to the cards you are dealt. It's from that surrender that you get your power. Losing can be the best motivator to get you even bigger wins. So never compare yourself to anyone else. There will be wins and losses. There will be tears and laughter. You'll feel the shades of life deeply. Now, with success comes challenges. With your wins, you may start to notice people spending a lot of energy trying to tear you down. Try not to take it personally. Unfortunately, it's something that comes along with success. Whenever you feel like you're not in control or the world is against you, let that vulnerability motivate you into greatness. That's how I found my true self. I remain a work in progress, and that's the beauty of growth. I've been happiest when I let go and allow life to show me the next move. When you bet on yourself, you're making an investment into your own future. When you choose to spend your valuable time thinking, speaking, typing negative thoughts, you're investing in something that will give you absolutely no return in your investment. Class of 2020, every thought in your mind is powerful. Every word you speak is powerful. Every action you take has consequences for yourself and your community. Look what you've been able to do in the last 14 days. We've seen the power of the collective. We've seen what happens when we join for the same cause. Please continue to be the voice for the voiceless. Never forget, we can disagree in a way that is productive to arrive at decisions that foster real change. And if you make a mistake, that's okay too. But we all have a responsibility to hold ourselves accountable and change. Whatever the world looks like in 10 years and 20 years, part of that is up to you. I urge you to let this current moment push you to improve yourself in all areas of your life, at work, at home, activism, spirituality, wherever you can find hope. Follow it.
A young unemployed man heard that there was a job opening for a position as an office boy at a big company. He went to their HR department to apply for it. After a very short interview, the HR administrator said, "You're hired. I'll send you the application to fill out so you can start on Monday. By the way, what is your email address?" The man said, "Madam, I don't have an email address. I don't have a computer either." Surprised to hear this, the personal manager said, "I find this unacceptable. Everyone has an email." "We live in a world of technology," said the woman as she continued. "I am sorry, but you cannot have the job." If you're new to the Impact Secret Podcast Show, welcome to the family. To my existing family, big up. As always, thank you for joining this movement. On this podcast show, we shift the mindset through inspiration, motivation with a standing foundation of self-discipline. I am your respectful host, ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, look, that just simply means Ed. Now, you know the motto, the slogan, what we live on, what we stand on here. Bet on yourself. You won't win unless you get in the game and play. You know the quote that resonates well with us here. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. Bob Marley. Listen here, family. If living means doing what you love to do, even if you have to fall to get back up, I'll fall every time and I'll get back up every time. Gotta love it. As you know how we do on this show, one question, two thought-provoking statements. First question is, what insecurities have you not faced to achieve your goals? Again, what insecurities have you not faced to achieve your goals? First thought-provoking statement, figure it out. You see how simple? Yeah, figure it out. The second thought-provoking statement, build your own stage. You know that was inspired by Queen Bee, Beyonce that is. Build your own stage. The title as well is inspired by Beyonce. It arrested my attention and I hope that it arrested yours. She said, let go and allow life to show you the next move. Let go and allow life to show you the next move. Getting back to the story as we was originally going. So the man, as we were talking about going for this office position, as you can remember that the lady said, or I should say the HR administrator said, you know, you cannot have the job. So, well, what happens is he goes on to learn how to set up an email account. The man left in despair because he only had $10 in his pocket. He could not decide what to do next. Finally, he came up with an idea. He entered a supermarket, bought 10 kilograms of tomato cart. And then he said to the tomato, then he sold the tomatoes door to door. In less than 1 hour, he doubled his capital. He did the same thing 3 more times. And when he finished, he returned home with $80. The man repeated this business next day after day after day. Every day his money doubled and or tripled. In time, he bought a cart, then a truck, then his own fleet of trucks. 5 years later, the man had become one of the biggest food retailers. One day, he decided to have a life insurance policy, so he went to an insurance company. After a long conversation with the insurance broker, the latter asked him his email address so he can send a digital form of the contract. The man replied, I don't have an email address. The broker, astonished, stepped back in surprise and said, you don't have an email address and you have built an empire? Do you imagine what you could do if you had an email? The man kind of paused for a moment. He said, yes, an office boy. See, family, reason why that story is one of my favorite stories, I've shared it before, is because sometimes in the sight of rejection, the opportunity presents itself. I understand it's painful. I understand you can't understand what is going on here. I get it that you're like, what did this happen for? See, this is why it aligns with Queen B was saying, Beyonce herself, about building your own stage. See, when the man was rejected, he understood that, hey, I'm going to have to build my own stage. How many times, family, have we went for things that we know we should have gotten, that we know that opportunity was ours and we were rejected, and then it forced us to build our own stage? Maybe you were working on a job and you got laid off and you said, you know what, I'm going to pick up another skill set, and then the job called you back. Yes, you accepted it, but you still worked on that skill set, and maybe it was a side hustle. Maybe you were doing coaching. I don't know what that thing is, but family, sometimes when God closes one door, another door opens. I know you've heard that before, but I got a remix to that. Yes, he may close one door and open up another door, but he also may open up a window. He may open up a chimney. He may even open up something. I don't know. I'm just talking to you, family. We're just having a conversation here. What I'm trying to say, family, is you have to get to a point that there's no more settling. See, I heard something that really arrested my attention today, as you know, I normally do, doing research for the audio clip, and it was someplace that I wasn't even looking for, and this has to go on my whiteboard of the many quotes that I have in there that have really left an impression upon me that I can't let go, that I won't let go. And this person named Jewel, she is I just don't want to classify her as a musician. I'm just going to classify her as an artist. She said something that was impactful. And if you don't mind, I will like to download that to this microphone right now and hope that it can wake somebody up who's listening. If you're driving, I hope that you can get an aha moment. If you're walking or whatever you're doing at this time, I hope and pray that you can get an aha moment. The aha moment for me was when she said this. She said, your life will rise to the level you settle for. I'll say that again. She said, your life will rise to the level you settle for. Family, how many times have you settled? Or are you settling now and you know that there's more in you? You know you got one more mile in you. You know you got one more lap in you. You know that you should get out of the bed when that alarm went off, but you said, you know what, not today. I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start next week. And then you're upset and you're frustrated because of where you are. I'm you know what, family? Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's me. I'm talking to myself. I've done this plenty of times. I still struggle with this today. And I know when I don't get out the bed or say what or do what I said I was going to do, it turns into a self-negative talk or beating myself down because I know better. See, my mama would always say, when you know better, you will what? You will do better. And I knew better that I needed to get up. Today, this morning, I had that fight. Today I won. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but today I was saying, oh, you know, I should just sleep in just 5 more minutes. And you know, after 5 minutes, I'll get up. And then I thought to myself, I said, how bad do you want this? And I don't even know what this is, but I know there's an anointing. I know there's a calling on my life, and I'm trying. No. I am going through with it and figuring it out. And it's this show of doing it day in and day out, and making a commitment to say, at least at minimum, I need to have 2 to 3 shows a week. Because, as you know, family, I'm also studying for the PMP, and getting that understanding, and making sure that I'm doing everything possible to understand what I need to get done there. But sometimes that we have to understand that we have to eliminate the aspects of just settling. We have to eliminate the aspect of not thinking we can crack to the next level, or breaking the next level. There's been many cases where I've been in situations, and I know you can attest to this. Matter of fact, I know you probably want to testify to this, where you thought you couldn't do it. You thought that you couldn't get that job, or you thought that you couldn't find that your dream partner, or you thought that this would never change, and then it does. You're like, why was I stressing over that? Why did I believe that I couldn't do it? And I love the way that Pat Bet David, he broke it down about quitting, and I'll give you from a high level what I extracted out of that. He basically was saying that you have to keep exercising that muscle of, when you're at a point where you believe that you don't think that you can do it, and then you do it anyway, that you have to keep that same mentality and growing it, and continue to develop it. Because when you get to the point where you say, you know what, I give up, I give in, I can't do it, that is when it's over. And when I say it's over, meaning that you've reached a threshold where you no longer want to keep figuring it out. The more you're willing to invest the time to figure it out, the more the closer you get to breaking the mold. Ooh, I like that. The more time you figure it out, the closer you get to breaking the mold. I can tell you about this whole YouTube journey. This has not been a fun journey for me, but it's been exciting. You're like, what do you mean, ED? Let me tell you why it hasn't been fun. Because I got caught up in watching others that inspired me achieve some of the heights in YouTube, and I wanted that. But then I had to realize this is a step-by-step process. I need training. I need to understand. I need to be more hands-on. And when I say hands-on, meaning understanding YouTube, understanding what is the foundational principles? What do I need to be doing better? And I'm still working on it, family. But what I realize is that you have to keep working on not trying, but doing and figuring it out. That's why I love what Beyonce has said when she said, keep your eye on your intentions. And see, when you are intentional about something, you have a desire that until you feel that intention, nothing else really seems to matter. It's I'm going to do this. It's not like, I'm going to think about it and then I'll start next week or next month, or, I'll wait until January 1st, and January, new year, new me. You know how that goes, family. But when you are intentional about something, you've made up your mind. You said enough is enough. No more excuses. No more sitting on the sideline waiting for someone to come and help me. No more hoping and wishing and not doing anything, because we already know that you have to be putting forth action. Momentum will always outdo anyone that is sitting there planning over and over and over again. Don't get it twisted. I love to plan because I think planning is important, but a plan with no action, a plan with no execution, a plan with just sitting there, it does nothing for you or no one else except for the person that can take that plan and go and execute on it. So family, what insecurities are blocking you from going after the thing that you said that you wanted to do, whether that was losing weight? I can tell you many stories, even personally, about my weight loss journey going up and down, and I'm still in that fight because it's an everyday thing, because there's so many cute diets out here. Yep, I said it. There's so many cute diets out here, from your ketos to plant-based, to all these different diets out here. And it's like, I understood and I understand that it's not about the diet is about the lifestyle change. And so when you have a lifestyle change, this is something you do on a regular basis. Yeah, I could go and take I can go and do this particular diet and lose 30, 40 pounds, but then I'll gain it all right back again because my lifestyle doesn't mirror what I was doing during the diet. It's sort of like life is that sometimes we go after that diet, meaning that cheap thrill, that cheap dopamine rush. But then once we get it, we go back to our old habits. We go back to what was easier because that made us comfortable instead of making the shift, the mental shift of a lifestyle change for us. And it's not always going to be perfect because I know I'm still a work in progress. But the thing is that you have to understand that you have to start building those desires. You thought I was going to say habits, didn't you? No, I'm saying the desires, because you have to desire to want to continue to keep this up. This is, if anyone has ever started a podcast show or a YouTube show or any type of content, it's a desire to want to keep going. I looked at, I was, my Instagram, and it's funny because I haven't been consistent there. And I stepped back and I said, where have I been the most consistent? And the most place I've been consistent is with this, as far as doing the actual podcast. And instead of me trying to force myself to go do something that I haven't really invested in as being consistent, I just doubled down on the podcast, meaning getting training. As over the holidays that's coming up, my goal is to really look at the show, find out ways how I can make it better, do some additional training, find a mentor that could maybe help me out. And it doesn't have to mean a physical mentor. It can be a book. It can be some, like I said, some additional training, or just watching podcast shows and seeing how they do. I know I still owe you the video piece, so setting that up, and I got everything set up. I just need to go in there. But the point I'm trying to make, family, is that in order for you to sustain and keep going, stop trying to spread yourself thin by trying to do everything that everyone is saying. Yeah, if you want to, you need to be on Instagram, Twitter, what's the other one? Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these different places. You need to be posting content all over, that's cute and everything, but I haven't even figured out how to get one going. So you want me to be on 13 other ones? Nah, I'm cool. So I'll focus on one thing. As I always tell you, one of my favorite sayings by Tyler Perry is, he said, when he talked about the seed, he said, if you have a whole bunch of seeds and you have water, if you're spreading the water throughout these whole different seeds, and I'm paraphrasing here, he's saying one of those seeds are going to suffer versus if you had focused on one thing, focused on that one seed and just took the water and poured it over that one seed, that seed is going to grow. And I'm not saying not to do multiple things, because I do multiple things, but I realized that I needed to condense all of those multiple things down into maybe one or two that I can really hone and really focus on the most, where I can get my energy at. And that is another reason why I'm not doing the show more than 2 or 3 times a week, because of I understand that for me to be able to sit down and pass this test, I have to make sure I'm intentional about creating study habits and studying for the information so I can sit down and pass. So family, I'll leave you with these closing thoughts. Don't quit. I don't know who this is for, but don't give up. I understand it doesn't look promising right now. I understand you've been putting in a lot of work. I understand it just feels like you're just moving inch by inch. But you know what, family? You're moving. And it's going to take time. I'm a testament of that, but it will pay off. It's up to you to make the decision if you're willing to continue to keep figuring out, continue to, either move around or go through the hurdles and the obstacles of life. It's up to you. Nobody can do it for you. Yes, I can inspire you. Yes, I can motivate you. Yes, I can say, hey, these are some of the desires and self-discipline tactics that I'm using. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to make the decision of this is what you want to do. And you've made up your mind that there's nothing that's going to stop you. Hope you enjoyed today's show, family. This has been your boy ED. Until next time. Peace.